Hello and welcome to this episode of the Work in Progress podcast. I am your host, Colleta Macharia, and I am a life coach and author of the book, How to Design Your Career Game Plan. Now, the month of May was rather tough for me emotionally. I was grieving the loss of two dear friends whom I had the honor of meeting a few years ago. May 21st, 2012 is the day that my dad transitioned out of this world. And so I took some time to reflect upon his life as well. I can say that to some extent for me, my family, and some of my friends, existential questions dominated conversations during the month of May. It was not a sad thing though, thinking about my dad and reflecting upon his life. In fact, whenever we talk about dad, it's often with a chuckle or a smile because he was a funny guy. He spoke good English, except when he wanted to say the word gym. For some reason, he always said Jime. I don't know who taught him how to say that. And Dad had many nicknames. Each of them had something to do with his character or just the way he did things or the way he reacted, for example, whenever he lost his temper. And so it was always interesting to refer to him by some of these nicknames. But above all, in the reflection that I did, I was reminded of one very simple yet profound lesson that comes to mind whenever I think about Dad. And this is the lesson. Do not believe it when people say that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Now, Dad didn't say that. He didn't say don't believe it when people say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but he demonstrated it. When he was in his late 50s, early 60s, Dad taught himself a new trick, and that was writing with his left hand. You see, his right hand developed a problem and he couldn't use it as much to write or even to hold, things firmly. And so because he really enjoyed filling in crossword puzzles and just generally writing things, he decided that he was going to teach himself how to use his left hand to do this rather than be deprived of this little pleasure of his. He told me that he could not imagine himself without writing. Evidently, it's never too late and you're never too old to learn a new skill or a new trick for that matter. So thinking about my dad and the two friends I had mentioned earlier who departed, I am reminded that no one knows their time or hour of departing this world. And this begs this beautiful prayer written by Moses in the book of Psalm chapter 90 and verse 12. And this is what it says. Teach us to realize the brevity of life so that we may grow in wisdom. Do you need to learn a new skill? It doesn't matter if you are old or if you are young. If your hunger or desire to learn that skill is greater than your excuses, then you can learn and you will learn. Have a wisdom-filled week, keep shining, and see you on the next episode. The Work in Progress podcast is brought to you by Cogent Afrique. Visit www.cogentafrique.com to check out learning and development opportunities for you, your team, organization, and family.